Well, some days are simply better than others, and today is one of the better days. Why? Because we've got the all-new Audi TT here standing beside me, and you know it's going to be a great car to drive. So what we've decided is to do a 600-kilometer review, take it from Delhi all the way up to Himachal, to a place called Shoghi, which is just before Shimla, and find out how good it really is. We decided to move out of Delhi at 5 a.m. in the morning. Even though we were a bit groggy at that point of time, it was a much better thing to do rather than wait till 8 a.m. and get stuck in Delhi's chock-a-block city traffic. The Audi TT comes with a 2-litre TFSI petrol motor. It develops about 226 bhp of power, which is transmitted via a 6-speed automatic gearbox. Power is delivered to all four wheels thanks to Audi's legendary Quattro all-wheel drive system. Well, Audi claims a 0 to 100 figure of about 5.3 seconds for this car. And to achieve that figure yourself, all you need to do is switch off the traction control, go to the dynamic setting on the drive select, slot the gearbox in its sport mode, hold on to those brakes and push the accelerator all the way down to the floor to dial in those revs. After a second or two, release the brakes and off you fly. Was that thunder? I don't see any dark clouds anywhere. Leaving early in the morning had its benefits. We were, after all, going to spend the entire day on this straight arrow road called NH1. And this is one of the best roads to use if you own a supercar. NH1 also converges onto NH22, which is the route which goes all the way up to Shimla. Well, not only is the TT a mile muncher on the highway, it's also a very practical and easy car to live with on a day-to-day basis. And one of the plus points is, of course, that fuel efficiency is pretty decent for a car which is a sports car and is aimed purely at performance. We are getting a figure of about 10.5 at the moment, and we've been driving it rather sedately. We haven't really pushed it too much, but yes, we of course have done a couple of brisk acceleration runs in this car. But even then, it's giving about 10 kpl, which is pretty commendable considering the 226 bhp this car offers. Well, the TT is precise to being surgical, and the handling is brilliant, and that along with the all-wheel drive Quattro system and those big beefy tires on the outside gives it absolutely loads of grip and makes this car phenomenal when you are pushing it into that corner. Well, you have to be impressed by the way this TT manages to change lanes. It really is as quick as a housefly. It really does change lanes as fast as you want it to be, and there's no lag in the steering wheel. It's really a very crisp and very direct unit with lots of feedback and lots of communication. We've been belting around the TT since the morning, and we've finally managed to climb up to the hills, and I have to say I am not tired in the least. This really is a sensational car in the truest sense of the word. Well, not only is the engine a really rev happy motor, and it really does enjoy being revved all the way up to its red line, it's also a very nice motor in terms of the symphony that it throws out, and that really adds a lot of character to the Audi TT's already charming personality. Well, because of that all-wheel drive Quattro system and those massive tires out there, along with this agile chassis and this very well weighted steering wheel, this car will really make you feel like you are a pro racing driver. Well, this engine simply loves to be revved and really does throw out a very nice growly sound when you push it hard on that rev limiter. If you are someone who enjoys to really get the best out of his car, then you can always hit the drive select button and choose the dynamic mode. Well, what that mode essentially does is that it holds on to those revs a lot longer, and the car is always in a lower gear for better traction, of course, and it also adds weight to the steering wheel, and it feels a lot more crisper than it already is. Well, if you are someone who truly seeks the thrill of driving from his machine, then the Audi TT is a car which will truly offer you a rewarding experience. If you want to drive this car in a gentlemanly manner and don't really want it to be too loud, you can obviously go to the drive select and choose the comfort setting or the efficiency setting. And what that does is it changes gears a lot quicker. It always shifts up to a higher gear for better efficiency. Well, this Audi really does mask its speed very well. So you might be doing speeds in excess of 150 and you'll be feeling that you are doing only 100 kph. So you have to be a little careful when you are on the Indian highways where speed limits are really regulated on a very stringent basis. But that said, if you are someone who can go to the track, then this is really a lethal weapon. Shoghi is a small hilly town which falls about 15 kilometers before Shimla. Unlike Shimla, which is now a popular destination with a lot of tourists and is always full of people, Shoghi is a place to relax and feel the calmness of Mother Nature. The city has a lot of cover of oak as well as pine trees and really is one of the nicest sights you'll ever see on a hill station. So if you are someone who lives in Delhi or someone who is living around Chandigarh, then this is one of the best weekend destinations for you. Well, we decided to stop just outside Shoghi and click some pictures of the hot Audi TT with the magnificent Himalayan range behind it. While we were stationary, we got a lot of attention from a lot of people passing by. Initially, I thought these were people who were recognizing me from all my YouTube videos. But all they wanted was a selfie with the Audi TT and nothing to do with me at all. But this car is a selfie magnet for sure. And even when we headed down to Chandigarh for lunch, this car attracted all sorts of attention from youngsters to middle-aged people and even the older lot. Families, singles and couples, everyone simply loves the looks of this Audi TT. But why blame all these people who want a selfie with the car? This really is one of the finely designed cars that you'll ever find on any road across the world. Just have a look at those indicator lamps and I can assure you, you will not find a cooler set on any other car. That along with that flowing roofline, those bulging wheel arches, along with that huge grille up front ensures that the Audi TT is a looker from each and every angle. Those 18-inch alloy wheels along with the rear spoiler really do make this car look like a showstopper. Well, the interiors are just as classy and just as stylish as the exterior is. Audi has now shifted from analog dials to this digital virtual cockpit, and it really does look sporty as well as very cool. Not only does it look special, but it also helps remove the clutter from the dashboard. All the controls can now be viewed through this single screen up ahead in front of the driver. The gauges can be made bigger or smaller depending on which setting you're choosing. The MMI circular system also ensures that access to all the menus and all the systems on this car is easy and effortless to use. And a special mention has to be made of these excellent AC vents. Not only do they mimic the turbine of a jet engine, they also look very cool because the controls are housed well within those AC vents. And the seats are exceptional in terms of comfort as well as bolstering, which means if you are someone who enjoys pushing the car in a corner, then the seats will hold you well. What also adds to the Audi's charm is the fact that it's a very practical place to be. You get plenty of cubby holes all across the cabin for your small Diet Coke cans as well as small water bottles. And the boot at 305 liters is one of the most usable and practically shaped ones in any sports car. To add practicality further, you can drop down the rear seats, which means you have a flat loading area and can easily shift big items in this car. Well, you'll run out of adjectives describing this new TT. It really is an icon, a legend, and overall a showstopper. And what that means is that if you are lucky enough to have about 70 lakh rupees lying around with you, then there is no better tool to put a smile on your face than the Audi TT.